Hello world, this is Edward Bevilacqua, the publisher of Ciao Tutti. This is our current issue of the magazine. Oh, sorry, wrong direction. For June 2015. I'm also with the Italian American Club in Las Vegas. This is the official publication of the Italian American Club in Las Vegas, the 55-year-old club here that has about 650 members. Very active club. And we have the great privilege today to be talking to Anne Pirone. Did I say that right?
Pirone in English and Pirone in Italian.
Okay. How do you say it in Las Vegas?
Pirone.
Pirone. Okay. All right. So, who is with Trikke?
Las Vegas and Trikke Academy.
Trikke Las Vegas. Trikke Academy. It's a very cool product. We see them around here all the time, and then we found out that Anne was Italian, so we had an excuse to ask you if you had some time to talk to us here. So, Anne, the way we usually start is, what are your Italian roots?
Okay. Well, my grandfather is from Italy, from Avellino, just outside of Naples, and he was in the First World War in the Italian Army and moved to America in his early 20s. He went to Ellis Island, then he was in New York for a little bit, and then ultimately rooted in New Jersey, which is where he stayed for the rest of his life.
What part of New Jersey?
Oh, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't recall the city.
So you grew up out on the West Coast?
Yes, yes. I
so
visited.
Like me, we don't really know the East Coast geography, right?
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
Right. I've only visited New Jersey one time. I have a lot more family in New York, so I tend to go there.
I see. Okay. So is it, what do they say for New Jersey, like the New Jersey Shore or Southern New Jersey, or?
Is it Patterson? Patterson.
I don't know.
I think that's Patterson. That sounds right. I'm going to go with Patterson.
Patterson. Okay. Okay, cool. So he was there. What did he do for work?
Well, apparently my grandfather was really against the unions that were coming in back in the day, and kind of protested against them. And apparently, this is interesting information, he was blackballed, and he ended up changing his name. So his real name is Nutella.
As in like Nutella?
Yes, and then he took my his cousin's name, Pirone. So that's how that transitioned, and we became Pirone. Okay. But as far as I know, he drove some trucks. My understanding is a little bit of a rebel. You know,
So he's a union activist against the unions.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently.
Was he a policeman?
No.
He wasn't one of those kind of against the union guys. So if you're picketing outside, he wasn't the kind of guy that would go break it up. Or was it?
You know, I don't know all the stories. Yeah, I only was able to sit with him and interact with him maybe 4 times in my life. So, and I was younger, so I never really got a lot of the backstory. Everything I know is from my father.
Okay. Now, your father was born in New Jersey.
Correct.
And how old was he when he moved?
He moved after marrying my mother, so I would say early 20s.
Okay. So did he just follow the trend and continue moving west because that's where opportunity was, or? Well,
my mother, my mother wanted to move out here, so she was the prime mover. She had a cousin out here and heard great things about the West, and
her Italian
wanted
roots
to be
are what?
here. Her Italian roots are, well, she learned how to make my grandfather's gravy, and it's amazing, and she makes the best Italian meals in our family. And whenever we all get together, especially with my father, because they have a very good, they're not together anymore, but they have a very good relationship, that's the thing, is the gravy, and that can be done with a lot of different accompaniments, you know, whether it's pasta or her handmade meatballs, or broccoli salad. That's always like a must-have.
And that's the extent of her Italian roots, her cooking.
Her cooking, that she learned from my grandfather so that she could make that for my dad.
Did you learn that?
Did I learn how to make it? Oh, yes, absolutely.
So we'll talk about that in a second. But so your mother's Italian roots are what?
Her roots?
Yeah.
She's Irish.
Irish. Of course. Of course.
No Italian. No Italian roots. Yeah, no, she's full Irish.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Okay. Now, I've heard that Irish people are impervious to psychoanalysis.
Really?
Is that true?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll follow up and find out
Yeah,
if that's
maybe.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they might be impervious to psychoanalysis?
I don't know. I would like to plead the fifth.
Got here, mother
Uh-huh.
wanted to move out. You moved to Southern California, right?
First they moved to Washington and then
Washington.
Southern California, Burbank
Okay.
specifically.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
My oldest brother was born in Washington. Then they moved to
And why did they
Burbank.
move?
I'm not exactly sure why Washington. I'll have to ask that question.
Mhm.
But I know they moved to Burbank because her really close cousin, was living there.
Okay.
So they took them in. She took them in for a little while, and then
Okay.
they got on their feet.
And your dad was a
Machinist. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and specifically for the school district,
Yes, correct.
in like the LA school district.
Uh-huh. Yep. Actually,
Okay.
Alhambra was where he ended up retiring from.
Okay. And is he still there now?
He's retired.
I mean, he's in.
Oh yeah.
Alhambra,
No,
LA.
actually, he moved to Phoenix.
Oh. Okay.
To be with my oldest brother, and
Okay.
he moved there probably about 6 years ago.
Okay. Now, does he have any hobbies? Does he tinker or anything
He
with his hands?
really enjoyed bowling. He was on a
Okay.
bowling league, although
Italian sport.
not anymore. But yeah, he was, bowling balls. Bowling was a big thing. I had my
Okay.
own bowling ball with my name on it. So yeah.
Do you still bowl?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Didn't like it?
I have not. I enjoy it. I'm extremely competitive. I'm sure that's probably
Okay.
a trait of my Italian background, but I enjoy it.
Okay.
But it's just,
It's not really easy to bowl here. But, if you want to bowl here, it's
There's
not
some-
that hard.
true. And there's some great bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at the Orleans, they have like some ungodly number, like 100 lanes or something.
Really?
Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
They're just
I've
huge.
bowled at the Red Rock.
Okay. How many lanes do they have there?
20-ish.
Okay. Not
Yeah.
that many.
Not 100.
But for a little town, 20-lane bowling alley would be pretty good size.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never
Okay.
waited for a lane.
Do you still have your ball?
I do. How do you give up a bowling ball with it's purple and it has my name on it?
How old were you when you got it?
I want to say 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of fond memories.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's interesting. Mark Rowland was at the school today. We talked about that. And he said he's a hypnotist. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He's a hypnotist.
Oh, I'm going to have him.
And one of our people said, well, show us. He said, well, okay, well, I'll hypnotize you to get out of a bad mood if you're upset at something. And he said, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and think about a time in your life that you were really happy.
Oh, okay.
And my hunch is there's some stories around your bowling ball that you could think of if you've kept it this long.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you probably feel good when you see it.
Probably just because
Unless
it's a
you're moving.
connection. Yeah, I mean, it's a connection to my dad. So,
Okay.
that is something we bonded over at that time.
Okay.
I think it's hard when, there's a generational difference to find something that a parent and a child, and I am a
Mhm.
mother, so a parent and a child can bond together on,
Sure. So are you going to bequeath the ball to your child?
if he would like it.
Okay. All right. Maybe you can skip a generation.
Yeah,
for your
sure.
grand-
Yeah. I'm sure
daughter, maybe.
I'm sure somewhere down the road somebody will appreciate.
Okay. So your dad was a machinist, and you said earlier that one of the things he did a lot was repairing typewriters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have any stories about that?
He bought me my first typewriter right before computers were really personal computers,
Okay.
and it was a part word processor. So it was really
Oh.
fancy. It had this little screen like this big, and you would see and then when you hit enter, it would type it on the page. So if you made any mistakes, you could correct it real quick.
Yeah.
And
I had one of those.
it was pretty special. Like, I was really proud of that
Yeah.
typewriter, and I only ended up being able to use it for about a year because then computers came out and
Same
there was
exact thing
no
with me.
need. I had a really hard time giving up that typewriter.
Did you?
Yeah.
I bought mine to take the bar exam in California. And just the same, wow, I will have an advantage
Yeah.
over people.
Right.
But then the ink ran out before I finished the page.
Oh.
So I had to
dramatic.
replace the ribbon and retype the whole page.
Oh, yeah.
So it was not fun. But Okay, and so you grew up in Southern California.
Yes.
Did you surf or anything like that?
Nope.
Not near the water?
We were more in the inland, you know,
Okay.
Arcadia to Pasadena, Temple City. I went to Temple City High School.
Okay. And for your family growing up, was school important?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my father did not graduate high school, so that was a real importance.
Okay.
Making, you know, parents always want their children to have better than they did and exceed and be successful in whatever they do. So.
And so they cared about how you're doing in school.
Absolutely, yeah.
What about sports?
Yeah, I did volleyball and basketball a little bit and swimming, and really kept me out of trouble.
Okay.
So, because you know, keep them busy.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that probably had some impact on what you're doing now.
Sports?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
you
I
have
think
to have hand-eye coordination to do
sure,
this.
yeah, and you have to be cooperative, and you have to learn to get along with people, and
Right. Have
work
situational
together,
awareness.
and yep,
Especially
exactly.
with this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So now my hunch is Sunday dinners were not a big thing in your family.
Yes and no. When I was younger, it was, but then as we got older. But if we were going to have a special dinner, it would be Sunday. You know, and it was definitely, even though my mom's Irish, other than, you know, St. Patrick's Day, corned beef and cabbage, there really was no, like, special meal. And so the special meal always was Italian.
So your mother would make gravy.
Yes. Yes, gravy, pasta, ziti, and homemade meatballs. I mean, that was pretty classic. And then my father absolutely have to have broccoli, broccoli salad.
Oh, broccoli lover.
Yeah, with lemon juice and
now this is
salt.
Is this uncooked broccoli or steamed?
No, cooked, steamed.
Okay.
Lemon juice, right? Cold.
Okay.
Cold, refrigerated.
Okay.
Lemon juice, a little bit of salt.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh.
I add olive oil to it now.
Okay. So big broccoli loving family.
I guess. I mean, back in the day, like, especially when I did visit my grandfather and he made us a meal, I think he was in his 80s. I remember it very specifically. You know, we had salad first, then the pasta, and then, you know, my understanding, I don't recall this when we visited him, but my understanding was that a big bowl of nuts would come out on the table and everybody would crack nuts and continue the conversation. And, you know, he was very much telling us how skinny we were and that we needed to eat more and, you know, definitely stuffing us. So there's food is a big thing.
Now, what came after the nuts?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I assume. Oh, actually, that's not true. Cannolis.
Okay.
And that, like the pastries, things like that. Yeah.
Now, when you were growing up, did your parents drink wine? Did your mother not really a wine drinker for Irish people, right?
As she got older, but when I was younger, not really.
Just
no.
Irish whiskey.
Yeah, she didn't really drink when I was younger, but as I got older, now she loves having a glass of wine.
Okay.
My father wasn't a big wine drinker. He did, but it would be red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then or like I remember like gin and tonic.
Okay.
More so.
So at dinner, wine wasn't part of dinner.
Yeah, not typical.
Like
it
when
could
you were growing
be.
up.
Yeah, if we were having
like every night.
Correct. If we were having a special dinner, then absolutely red wine for sure.
And how old were you when you first started having wine?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
an adult.
That person.
Yeah. An adult. Yeah, that wasn't like.
So as a kid, there was no drinking.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where to go after that. Okay. So, what caused you to move here?
Moved to Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yes, not that person over there.
Right.
Well, my husband's mother, he is an only child, and we have a son.
And he's not Italian.
He's not Italian. Dominican.
Oh.
So if you know any magazines that would like to do an article on,
okay,
you know where to come.
Okay.
Anyway, she, you know, she's 89 now, or about to be 89. She's 88, and we really wanted to spend as much time as possible. Not only that, but we also felt like there was such a good opportunity here for our business and to expand our business and grow our business. It's very congested in Los Angeles. There's it's hard to breathe
Sure.
And it just felt, I tell people all the time, it was like bright neon signs, arrows pointing, move to Las Vegas, you know.
Oh, really?
It just took me a short while to adjust. I was a little concerned, but it didn't take long for me to realize.
How old were you the first time you came?
To Vegas? I think I was about 16. I came for my brother's wedding.
And what did you think the first time?
Oh, it's wild and crazy and so much. It's sensory overload. And
Did you drive?
Yes, we drove.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I like the driving.
Oh, the drives? Yeah. It's beautiful.
You know, I don't have a problem with the driving. You know, for the last 20 years, you can talk on the cell phone most of the way, but you know, now you can, you know, it's just no problem. I think it's very relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
But so when you drove over, did you stop in Baker?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that's typically the stop.
And then was it the, are we there yet?
Oh, sure.
Okay. And then you come over the last hill, and there's Las Vegas.
You see the land,
Okay.
yes.
And so did you feel excited?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I always do. I still do. I still
You know,
get
I
that
do too.
feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. I like looking out at night and seeing the Luxor light.
Sure.
And so the first time you came here was when you were 16. Did you come here many times between that and when you moved here?
Absolutely. Well, especially after I got married and then had a child, we would come and visit a lot.
The grandmother.
Yeah, so we were familiar with life outside of the Strip.
Okay, sure.
And what that means, and because people just don't, you know, why would you live in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
We get that all the time. Well, because they think of the Strip.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a good point, because a lot of people talk about, when we do these interviews, they talk about when their friends come out, they're surprised of what life is like with people who say, well, I never go to the Strip. I only go there when I have guests come out, right? You know, it's, you know, we have a great life where we live. You know, that's the common theme.
Yes, I've converted a lot of people.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Vegas is incredible.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Trikke.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So describe it for the...
Okay, well, Trikke started 14 years ago with body-powered vehicles for full-body fitness. 6 years ago, they electrified, which put us in the transportation business. But besides that, it is a hybrid vehicle, so you can still ride it with your body. You can still use it for transportation. It folds up. The battery pulls out. It's just a really fun way to get around, explore, use it for transportation, use it for fitness.
And it's called Trikke because of 3 wheels?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, with 2 Ks though, Trikke.
KKE.
And then we run a dealership in Las Vegas. Specifically, we focus on guided tours, client rentals.
I've seen those around.
Yep. So you can look at it like maybe a Segway tour, but quite different. And we educate people on all that's going on downtown, especially the revitalization. That's what we focus on. And then we.
So where does that go?
Well, we have a couple different tours. We have one specifically for the Life is Beautiful murals, where we show that, which changes every year, which is great. And then we do a Fremont East, which is more about the revitalization. We focus on the downtown project redevelopment.
Okay, so you go down Fremont.
Well, sort of more out, like around this. Well, we do go down Fremont, but we take you to the outskirts and show you. You know, we go all the way to Bunkhouse. Yep, we go down to Bridger.
Okay.
Up to, you know, over by Zappos, that kind of that stretch there.
Okay, so that's what, 2 or 3 miles?
Yeah, about that. Yep. But it's about a half an hour experience.
Is it like this? Or are you going in
We're kind of in and out.
Okay.
We'll show a little bit of the murals as we go.
And what about the Western? Do you go over in the parking lot over there?
Sorry. My nose is bothering me.
It's the pollen.
Yeah. We don't really go into the Western now.
Not in the parking lot.
Only if we're doing some training
it's
thing or something.
It's so big, you don't really need a parking lot that big.
Right.
Because you use this.
Yeah, we always start with an orientation.
Okay.
And then we take people out on the experience, or if they're doing a rental.
How long does it take to learn how to use a Trikke?
Well, if it's body powered, there is a bit of a learning curve because it's a full body movement. Everything has to kind of work in coordination.
So let's say you can roller skate. How long does it take you? You're a good roller skater.
On the learning curve is so different for everybody. It took me a little bit longer. I would say it took me about 2 weeks of practice till the light bulb went out. We call it went on and out. Yeah. And we call it the sweet spot. So everything clicked for me. For my husband, it did not take him that long. He got it right away. Electric's much easier because you have the electric as an assist. So you can keep your momentum going because that's the key. If you're using your body. But the thing with the electric is you can literally just stand on it straight and go straight.
See, that's what I usually seem to see is people using it like it's a cart. They're just standing there.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in an urban environment because it's not like you really have the space to do that motion, that swaying.
Now, when you're doing that, is it going this way down the road or is it going straight?
You can just go straight.
And your body's not on electric.
Yeah, on body powered, that's the only way to make it go. You can't go straight.
But I mean, is it going? So it's going like it's kind of like snaking down the street.
Little snake, and you can either make your snake really short or really wide, depending on what kind of space you have.
Okay. But you don't get one leg. You don't treat it like it's a scooter, right?
Not at all. Your legs never come off the platform, so it's super stable.
Now, what if you did do that? What if you tried to use your leg to kick like it was a skateboard?
Oh, sure. That's how when I was getting started, if I would hit a little bit of an incline, I would kind of use one leg to scoot to get my momentum going. So a lot of newer riders will do that to keep their momentum. But once you're efficient, your feet never. Mom is 70. I believe she's been riding for about 6 years now on body powered because of that low impact fitness.
Go up.
Well,
from a dead stop.
Because you can walk it, but typically like 10 to 15 degrees.
Okay.
Somewhere
I don't know how steep that is.
Yeah, it's like a parking garage.
A ramp?
Yeah, like a ramp.
Okay.
Somewhere.
That's from a dead start, but if you have momentum.
From a dead stop, you have to be very skilled to be able to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you just got to get momentum.
In Trikke Academy, anybody that could do that would be a level 3 certified trike trainer. That could go from a dead stop up a 10 to 15 degree hill.
Okay.
I'm not even sure I could do that, to be honest with you. Yeah, but with a little momentum. Yeah, there's skills. We teach people all of that.
Yeah. So that's good. That's probably what makes it that people want to keep doing it.
Exactly. Our most popular, when we did commercials on television, the most popular station was the golf station, because people that typically like the challenge of playing golf, that's our consumer on our body power. They like the challenge, they're up for it. And actually what's really nice about the trike is that because it's a full body movement, everything is coordinating together, it actually exercises your brain. Because your brain is engaged in all the pathways. So, and it becomes very meditative. You're crossing meridians in the brain. So that's also an appeal.
Okay. Wow. So everybody should have one.
Absolutely.
What's the youngest?
We have my son is 5 and he can ride. We have a T5 for little kids.
Okay.
There's also an electric trike made by, produced by Razor, but the branded and the patent or whatever through Trike. So it's a co-branded electric kids vehicle through Razor.
You know, I think that next month, so at the club, the first Wednesday of every month is a members' dinner. So we have about 150 people go. I think it would be good to just bring one down there and just have it set up and let people see it.
Sure, we would love to do that.
And see what happens.
Absolutely, we would love that.
Okay. So you came out here because of your mother-in-law.
Well, it was mother-in-law and business. They had equal weight. Fit. Yes, there was a lot of incentive for us to move here.
Now, what if she would lived in Phoenix? Would you have moved to Phoenix?
I mean, we would have definitely considered Phoenix. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And your brother's there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have a trike dealer down there?
They have some certified trike trainers in Phoenix.
But
I don't
nothing
think they
like
have
this.
a dealer.
Okay. No academy.
Well, the academy's traveling, so we can
Oh.
run our Trikke Academy business anywhere, which is
I
what
see.
was so appealing.
But there
You
isn't
see
one
an
there.
international airport.
Okay, but there's not one there.
We are the only Trikke Academy.
Okay.
There's only one training institution for Trike.
Oh.
That is us, Trikke
Okay.
Academy. If anybody wants to get into the business of Trike,
They
it
have to
comes
see you.
through our program.
Okay, so that's very Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, I
We
guess so.
control this.
No. Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, so you like Las Vegas,
I love Las Vegas.
and you like the downtown area.
I love downtown.
Yeah.
I am. There are not words to express my gratitude.
When did you first come to downtown?
Very shortly after moving here, we started to hear the buzz. We moved here in the very end of 2012.
Okay.
And my mother-in-law is our official newspaper reader. So she goes through all the newspaper, highlights it, you know, and then we get like a condensed version of this is what you need to know, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. And anyway, so we started seeing a lot of the articles about what was going on downtown. Trikke Academy was created truly as a community-focused. You know, it's all about getting people out in the community and writing and connecting with their community. So for us, the messaging that was happening downtown was
fits perfectly
it was
with Tony Hsieh's vision of what was it? The collisions.
Collisions, yeah. And we always say the good kind of collisions since we're on
you need to
moving
make sure
vehicles.
to
Yeah. But it was such an alignment with everything we had been doing for 6 years. So we really just started. First, it was interesting. It's kind of a funny story. We were first trying to connect through our home office out in the Northwest in Centennial Hills via email, because do things in LA, you know, it's everything's so congested. It takes you 20 minutes to get to the freeway. You're not going to like drive and go, you know, you're all email, phone. Yeah. And at the time, we were really trying to connect with the Project 100 that was happening, because that seemed like that was a good place with what we're doing. And I remember Zach Ware very specifically saying to Fred, look, if you want to be a part of what's going on, you need to be down here. And all of a sudden, we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then I had bought a ticket for Fred to go to Tech Cocktail in the April. That's when he met with Mark Rowland for the first time, and collisions started happening, connections, and all of that, and that's how we started to become a part of this community.
I see. Yeah, we had sort of a similar thing, but we met Michael Downs.
Okay, yep.
And he said, well, why isn't your school here?
Yeah.
Because we were in California, Southern California, Santa Fe Springs, and we were going to open a campus here. And you know, I met him at the Gold Spike. He was at the Gold Spike. I went to the Gold Spike, and then we just started a conversation. He said, well, you know, we have this place called the Learning Village.
Yeah.
And,
perfect.
Yeah. So, so you love it here.
Yes.
How old's your kid?
5. He goes to school downtown.
Okay. Oh, at
he
at
was,
Bridger?
He was at the 9th Bridge. Now he's at Quest, which is a charter school.
Okay. Okay. I don't know where that one is.
It's 14th and Bridger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it works out well for you.
It's wonderful. It's really great.
Okay.
The only thing we're missing is actually living here. You
So
know,
you
when
still
we
commute?
moved, we do, but it's 20 minutes.
Okay.
And it's really not that bad. And when we moved here, we didn't have that crystal ball. We may have made a different choice, but you know, I do really enjoy where we live too. So. See,
I live in Henderson, but growing up in California, driving was part of it. I don't consider, and my brothers live off of Ann Road. So I'm in Henderson, they're off of Ann Road.
That's where we are by Ann Road up there.
And so here, people think it's the other side of the universe.
They do, yeah.
But growing up in California, it's like, well, it's, you know, it's 30 miles.
It's not a big deal.
It's, you know, what's in from Henderson to here is 16 miles. Like nothing. But, but I guess when you get used to a community, you don't really want to drive.
Especially if you're a native here and has watched it expand, you know, I'm sure it feels much more congested than it does to somebody like you and I coming from a very congested community.
Absolutely. A lot of people we talk to say when they moved here, the road ended there.
Right. Yes, yes. It's a circle that's expanding outward.
Yeah. One of the things I like about Las Vegas is the roads seem to have been laid out a long time ago, even though there was no road. But everything's laid out so it's easy to get around. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I love it. I love the 215, how it goes all the way around.
Okay.
And that view driving, especially on the west side going
looking
through.
Down here. Isn't it amazing how high it seems when you're over there looking down?
Yeah.
But when you're looking here, it doesn't seem that high.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, okay, so anything else you want to tell us about Trikke?
Well, we're part of the community here in Las Vegas. We're very community centered. If you're interested in body powered vehicles, electric vehicles, interestingly enough, with our tours, we get about a 50-50 mix of tourists and locals. And so if
locals.
Yes, and especially, as a local, everybody wants to come visit you when you live in Vegas.
Sure.
So if you're looking for something fun, different, definitely different to do when family, friends come into town, we do really fun experiences. We're 5-star on Yelp, 5-star on TripAdvisor. I was just talking to somebody at Travel Zoo the other day, and they were like, wow, your ratings are incredible. Oh. And we've been doing this for 1.5 years and don't have any, knock on wood.
Well, I can confirm that everybody that we run into here, and when people see people riding on these trikes, it gets your attention.
Yeah.
People smile. People riding them seem to be smiling.
Yeah, it really is. It's very freeing, and it really does keep you connected in the community because we were in the Downtown Zen article last July, and the gal that was experiencing it, the one that wrote the article, she was even saying how awesome it is because you're really still connecting with your environment. You're experiencing it as you're moving on these vehicles.
Sure.
So
I think we should do something where we can somehow get some of our students to learn how to just to experience it.
Sure, absolutely.
Some little fun event.
Yeah, and that's the thing about my husband and I. We're really big on collaboration. We like to work with other businesses. We enjoy collaborating, connecting, and working with other people that are like-minded. That truly are passionate about what they're doing. And if we can find a way to collaborate and work together, we're all for that.
I think that's one of the best things that Tony did is he was able to attract people that want to collaborate.
Yeah.
As opposed to. So I grew up in the Bay Area and went to Santa Clara, and so I did some work in Silicon Valley. And there it's very secretive.
Yes.
You're not really collaborative. You go into a place for breakfast in the morning, there's a whole bunch of different people working on their own little projects.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to see what you're doing.
Yeah, and what a place of fear to exist in.
Yeah.
It's really uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. It's weird.
Yes.
Here, they would think this is weird.
Right.
This is just so collaborative. And
yeah, I had a tour company that we were trying to collaborate with, and they were very energy. And then there was this other tour company that we started collaborating with and working together and doing a dual tour. Saw us again, they were like, isn't that your competitor? And I was like, well, yeah, let's all get along. There's plenty for everybody. It makes it better when you work together, and why can't, and if anything, it makes you more successful. So
yeah. Right. So I have one last question, but I already know the answer. Sauce or gravy?
Oh, it's gravy. Definitely gravy.
Never sauce.
Never sauce.
Okay. So when people come over and they say sauce, do you just kind of feel the cringe?
Not really.
Okay, just
no.
They're uninformed.
No, I have no judgment. If you want to use sauce, I'm totally okay with that.
All right. But you grew up, it was gravy.
I grew up, it was gravy, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, Ann, thank you very much for taking the time to sit with us. This was great.
Really appreciate it.
And we'll work out something